It is a beautiful morning. Good morning to you all and welcome to Carnival Breakfast Show coming to you from Carnival Radio. And this is Newspaper Review. I am Joseph Oyukola. Good morning once again and welcome. To begin the news this morning, here are the headlines. Cardinal local government to make health insurance mandatory for intending couples, aspirants. Lagos passenger crossed to death during fight over motor park. Why court denied Yaya Bello's medical travel request. Nigeria now spends half of its revenue on debt, says presidential panel. Onto the news and details. The chairman of Kudan local government area of Kaduna State, Dauda Haba, has promised a requirement for would-be couples to present the Kaduna State Contributory Health Management Authority enrollment card before getting married. Ensuring this, he said, would increase enrollment into the scheme. Haba made this proposal on Monday in Kudan local government area secretariat in the Kanchama's inauguration of the informal sector enrollment campaign into the scheme. The chairman said the proposal aimed to ensure that couples have access to quality healthcare services. Newsmen report that the exercise, which would also be inaugurated at the Gankago and Chukwu governments, is expected to be carried out across all the 23 local government areas of the state. It was supported by the Engender Health Consortium, International Society for Media in Public Health, Center for Communication and Social Impact, and Legislative Advocates Initiative for Sustainability Development Goals. Haba stated that pregnant women would particularly benefit from the scheme's coverage of antenatal care, delivery, and postnatal care. The chairman also added that the health scheme provides financial protection against unexpected medical expenses, enabling pregnant women to access quality health care without financial hardship. This news was sourced from the Punch newspaper. For more details, please read more of the Punch newspaper. Kaduna local government to make health insurance mandatory for intending couples, aspirants. Why chaos erupted in the Alabarago area of Iba, Lagos State on Sunday following a violent scuffle between road transport workers, popularly known as Agberos, and supporters of a local monarch. The clash, which reportedly began in the early hours of Sunday, led to the death of a yet-to-be-identified passenger who was crushed by a speeding vehicle. Multiple eyewitnesses told newsmen that the conflict stemmed from the recent launch of a motor park allegedly constructed by the monarch for vehicles traveling to the northern and eastern part of Nigeria. According to residents, the Agberos allegedly saw the new park as a threat to the existing system of collecting levies from drivers in the area. Tensions escalated when supporters of the monarch and transport workers clashed on Sunday morning. Footage shared with newsmen showed a crowd of sympathizers gathered at the scene of the incident. In one video, the lifeless body of the victim lay in a pool of blood, while in another, residents were seen covering the body with a wrapper to shed onlookers from the gruesome sight. Reacting to the clash, the spokesperson for the Lagos State Police Command, Benjamin Hundeyin, confirmed efforts were underway to de-escalate the situation and broken peace between the warring factions. Sunday's incident adds to a growing list of violent clashes involving road transport workers and junior operatives across Lagos and neighboring states. This news was sourced from the Nation newspaper. For more details, please visit the Nation newspaper. Lagos passenger crossed to death during fight over motor park. At the meantime, Federal High Court in Abuja has rejected an application by former Kogi State Governor Yahya Bello seeking the release of his international passport to enable him to travel overseas for medical treatment. In the ruling delivered on Monday, Justice Emeka Nwete held that the medical report submitted to support the request was unsigned, rendering it inadmissible in law. Bello is currently standing trials on money laundering charges brought against him by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC). Bello facing charges of alleged 80.2 billion naira fraud before Justice Nwete had applied for the release of his travel document to enable him to seek medical attention in the United Kingdom. He is also standing trial on similar charges before Justice Mayene Anine of the Federal Capital Territory High Court, Maitama. While delivering the ruling, Justice Nwite dismissed argument by the prosecution that the application was an abuse of the court process. He noted that the application did not violate any legal procedure as it was properly brought before the court. The former Governor's Counsel, Joseph Dauda San, had argued that his client had been battling hypertension for the past 15 years and required urgent medical attention. Intended to document Exhibit A and B purportedly expect reports on Bello's health status, urging the court to exercise its discretion in favor of granting the travel request. However, the judge ruled that Exhibit B, the key medical report, was legally worthless because it was not signed by the medical professional who authored it. This news was sourced from the Vanguard newspaper. For more details on the story read, please read further on the Vanguard newspaper, where court denied Yahya Bello's medical travel request. On to the last news on newspaper review this morning. The chairman of the Presidential Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms Committee, Mr. Taiwo Oyedele, disclosed that the country currently spends less than 50% of its revenue on debt servicing. While serving as a keynote speaker at PwC's Executive Summit on Nigeria's tax reform with the theme The New Tax Era, what Nigeria's tax reform means to individuals and businesses. Lagos on Monday, Oyedele explained that the government was spending almost 97% of its revenue on debt servicing before the economic reforms. He explained that the country's current currency could have become worthless if the federal government had not embarked on the current economic reforms. He noted that the country was heading in the direction of Zimbabwe and Venezuela, whose economies had collapsed. According to FPTRC chair, the country could have reached $1 billion economic by now if the government had begun the ongoing economic reforms a decade ago. He argued that the government was wasting trillions of naira subsidizing petrol, spending a large chunks of its revenue to service debt, and was just printing naira at will. Also, Oyedele disclosed that only 3% of informal sector operators can pay taxes in Nigeria. According to the FPTRC chair, the country's tax is now progressive and all the major taxes have become progressive. It will be recalled that President Bola Tinubu signed 4 bills into law on June 26, but they will become effective on January 1, 2026. Also, The regional senior partner, PwC West Market Area, Sam Abu, noted that the reforms embarked on by the government were a good starting point for engaging in the conversation very robustly. This news was sourced from the Daily Post newspaper. For more details on the story, read the straightforward and Daily Post newspaper. Nigeria now spends half of its revenue on debt, says presidential panel. To bring the newspaper review to a close this morning, here is the recap of headlines. Kaduna local government to make health insurance mandatory for intending couples, aspirants. Lagos passenger crushed to death during fight over motor park. Why court denied Yaya Bello's medical travel request. Nigeria now spends half of its revenue on debt, says presidential panel. And with that, we've come to the end of newspaper review. Thank you very much for listening. You can download our media app from Google Play Store and App iOS. You can also check out our websites at www.carnivalmedia.ng. My name remains Joseph Oyokola. Good morning, and please do well to enjoy the rest of your day. It is a beautiful Tuesday.